turns over.
Hello and welcome to Hot Money Technicals on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is a show which gets you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's welcome our experts then. Aditya Agarwala of your Securities and Kkunal Parar of Choice Broking join us on the show today. Many thanks to all of my guests for joining me. But before we start with the show with our analyst, let's bring in Yash Upadhyay, who has a chart on Godfrey Phillips this time around. Good afternoon, Yash. What does the chart indicate?
So it's a negative signal which is coming in for Godfrey Phillips, and if you take a look at the price chart over the last 1 year period, and this is on the daily time frame for Godfrey Phillips, we've seen that the stock has went down from the levels of almost as high as 1200 to as low as 700. But then there was the news of his parent company, which was Morris Phillips, entering into a merger with Altius, and then the stock went up as high as 1100 as well. But it has been in that range between 1100 to 1000 for the last few several trading sessions, and what we've seen in yesterday's day of trade is that large red candle which is over this one, which has completely engulfed the one ahead of it, which indicates a bearish engulfing pattern, typically a sign that there could be weaker hands coming out of the stock, and there could be further downside in the counter. In today's day of trade as well, the stock is down about 1.5 or 2%, and the RSI too has given a negative divergence. It had crossed above the mark of 70 following that huge move, taking it up to the mark of 1100, but since then it has been slowly and steadily in a declining trend. The entire move from the mark of 1200 to the lows of 700, if you draw the retracement, the 61.8% retracement of that fall comes around the mark of 1007 or 1006, and that is where it has been facing stiff resistance, because the last few candlesticks, if you take a look at, we are seeing these large upper wicks, which indicates that the prices are moving at the higher level, but then there are no takers for it at that level, and we are seeing the stock eventually coming down and closing at a lower price. So overall, all these factors put together indicate that there could be weakness for Godfrey Phillips.
Okay, Yash, thanks so much for that. Aditya, do you see weakness on Godfrey?
So it's more of a consolidation that I see on the charts following a huge move that Yash just pointed out. I believe on the downside, 960 to about 965 will be a good support zone. If somebody wants to play for a target of 1%, 1.5%, then yes, there's that much of downside is there. But beyond that, I don't see too much of a downside in the stock. Probably around 960, stock should see some sort of buying action.
Okay, Kkunal, what's your sense? Is it consolidation? Is it correction? What's your sense?
It's a consolidation phase, no doubt. And right now, stock is trading below its 21 DMA. 21 DMA comes at 998. So it indicates bearish sign for the time being. However, on a lower level, stock has a strong support somewhere around 942, which is a 200 DMA. And be precise, I'm talking about 17th September. Stock made a low of 932, exactly where the stock took a support of 200 DMA, and after that it went up to the level of 1053. So for trading perspective, 998 would be our SL, and for a downside, I'm seeing somewhere around 942, and from where bounce back can be expected.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the first stock, Godfrey Phillips. More of a consolidation rather than correction is something that our analysts speak about. But let's begin with this first round of charts. We have a chart by Aditya. The chart is on the metal company Timken. Aditya, if you can have you here. What's the view? Why are you bullish on Timken now?
Okay, so this, as you can clearly see, was a big large move on the stock from 500 levels to above 700. Following that, we witnessed a consolidation in the stock, which was very much the previous chart of Godfrey Phillips. So this is a consolidation that the stock went through, and following that consolidation last week, we saw the stock break out from this consolidation pennant pattern, and it's a follow-up move this week as well. So overall, the pattern is a bullish pattern post a consolidation. It's a continuation of the up move that started started from 500 odd levels to now it will continue to about 900, above 900 odd levels. One can actually start accumulating at current levels, and also on a decline to levels of 750. It's a good accumulation zone for the stock. This is more of a positional trade you get into the stock, because most of the stocks will show you a large move following a Friday's move. So it's better to accumulate stocks at current levels and on declines of 750. You can look for a northward target of 900 also in the coming weeks. Probably you want to hold on to it for a couple of months. You could see levels of 900 with a first target of 870 and a stop loss at 720.
Okay, these are weekly candles.
These are weekly candles.
But have the move, this move that has come out and the breakout, has that come with volumes?
Yes, this has been backed by extremely healthy volumes. The volume chart is missing out here, but if we look at the volumes, this has been backed by extremely healthy volumes. Along with that, if I go back to 2018 March, we also see a rounding left shoulder head and a right shoulder. So this is also a large inverse head and shoulders pattern, and this is the neckline. If I join the highs, the neckline comes to about these levels exactly. So it's also broken out from a large inverse head and shoulders pattern, which tells me that the downtrend has halted for the moment and the uptrend has resumed. So we can definitely see levels of 900 in the coming months.
Okay, thanks so much for this, Aditya. Kunal, what's your sense on Timken? Are you bullish on the counter?
Yes, definitely, Darshan. What we have seen on the chart, overall chart indicates a good upside movement, and it looks very attractive. Since last 2 days, accentuated volume has been taking place, and OBV as well indicating a good buying in the counter. My view is like if stock fall up to the level of 750, it would become a good buying opportunity. While upside, I am seeing somewhere around 812, because 812 is a major resistance. On 15 June, stock faced 812, and after that it went up to the level of 501. So if it comes up to the level of 750, it would become a good buying opportunity for a target of 812. And if stock breaks 812, then we might see an upside movement up to the level of 1000. So buy on decline would be a good strategy.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the first stock, and that was Timken. The next chart is by Kkunal. It's on Strides Pharma. Let's have the chart. Strides over the past 2 days has fallen significantly, and that fall has been on account of the issues as far as the ranitidine tablet is concerned, where there has been a global recall. Strides has a huge presence in the US markets by supplying this drug. That could have an impact on it. So Strides is already down 20 rupees today. What's your sense on Strides?
Actually, I suggested when it was trading at 351 and
yours is still a short call, right?
No. Actually, I was about to give a buy call, because when I gave a buy call, it was trading at 351, because stock completed a bullish ABCD harmonic formation at the 341 level. Where you can see that the A, B, C, D, and means this C part completed at 61.80% of this AB, and this D completed at 161 this BC. So stock form perfect ABCD harmonic formation, but right now stock is trading below my SL. So at this point, totally I'll avoid this stock. And if you have a monthly chart, then on a monthly chart the stock has a good downside support. You can see this is the this is the horizontal line. This is the first time, second time, this is third time, and right now stock is near to give a breakout of this horizontal trend line. So
you see this 330 as a support, or and if this breaks there could be more downside?
Yeah, if stock breaks this support, then I am seeing a more downside.
Okay.
Because when I gave this stock was trading above this trend line, and the recent bottom of this stock.
Sure.
So,
fair enough. Markets move in a way.
Yeah.
But overall, Aditya, what's your sense on Strides? It's at 330 now. What should one do?
There's no strength in the stock, without a doubt. Most of the pharma stocks are witnessing selling pressure in trade today. Same is the case with Star. So far, it is witnessing extreme selling pressure. It has broken its immediate support of 338 as well. So I would wait. If the stock bounces back to levels of 340 and above, it starts to trade above 340 and above, then probably I'll look for a trade. Otherwise, in my sense is the stock will go down further. I would rather be a short. I'll be on the short side rather than be on the long side at current levels of 330.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on Strides. Obviously, it's fundamentals that's affecting the drop in the company in terms of all the pharma news that's come in, which is extremely negative for Strides. Let's begin with the second round of charts. Aditya has a chart on Voltas this time around. Aditya, if we can have you here, let's have the Voltas chart on the screen. it's a bullish call anyway, but why are you bullish?
The stock continues to make higher highs, higher lows, as it is clearly seen on the charts. From this point of onwards, from 2016 onwards, stock has been continuously making higher highs, higher lows, which is a bullish, which tells that the stock is extremely bullish. In this week, what the stock has done is it was not able to cross these highs of about 650 earlier. This week, it has actually done that. Previous week, it did that. This week, it's a follow-up move. And if I join the recent lows, it forms an ascending triangle pattern. What is an ascending triangle pattern is the highs are the same, the lows keeps on rising. So it's a higher lows with the highs the same, and the stock has recently broken out from that ascending triangle pattern. Again, the volumes were high in this breakout, and this week it's a continuation of that breakout. After making a high of about 712, 715, stock has actually given up some bit of its gains. It's a healthy sign. It's a good accumulation zone at current levels of 660. One can look to buy further on declines of 650 as well. Current at 660, a 10 rupee decline of 650 will make it even attractive buy for targets of 730, 760. Again, if I take a look at the RSI has taken support at the 50 level, which is the halfway mark, and from there it started making higher lows, and it has crossed its previous peak. So these are clear signs that the stock is in a bull trend. Bulls are holding on an upper hand in the stock. I would want to buy the stock for target of 730, 760.
There was a strict stop loss for this?
I'll place a stop at 630 for this.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Aditya. Kunal, what's your sense on Voltas?
Darshan, as we have seen on chart, stock has already given a breakout of its ascending triangle formation, which is a continuation formation, and MACD as well indicate a positive, positive crossover. So overall, this chart indicates a bias movement. My view is like one can get into the stock right now. It is trading at 671, so it's a good buying opportunity. While for trading perspective, I'll put a SL somewhere near around 610, and my target is 750, 760 on an upper level.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the counter. Voltas, the next chart we have is by Kkunal, and this time it's on JK paper. So let's pull up the chart and see what exactly it is. It's a bullish call, I can say.
Yes, Darshan, it's a bullish call. Means after forming a bottom somewhere around 95, stock went up to the level of 140, 142 level, and stock form a nearer somewhere consolidation formation right now. Means after this consolidation, it seems that the stock is giving stock has formed a peanut formation, which is a continuation formation. You can see this is the pole, and after consolidation, stock form a peanut formation, and right now stock is about to give a breakout of this upper band of the peanut formation. So overall, this indicates that the stock might accelerate its upside movement based on this formation. If sustained above 140, then we might see a good upside movement. And Darshan, if we look on the weekly chart, then weekly chart it looks like more convincing, because over here you can see that the stock has already given a breakout of this falling wedge formation, which is as well a bullish continuation bullish reversal formation. And if we talk about Darshan, if RSI, then RSI as well. If we connect this top to this top, then this top both create a downward falling trend line, and RSI is trading above this trend line. So even this indicates a positive break. And apart from this RSI, there is a OBV, on balance volume. Even that indicates that since last 3 to 4 weeks, accentuated buying activity has been taking place in the counter. So overall, OBV, RSI plus weekly chart indicates a good buying opportunity in the counter.
So what's the, it's at 139, what should one do? Should they buy now? Should they buy on dips? What's the stop loss? What's the target?
139, it's a good buying opportunity. If stock sustain above 139, then I am seeing 155, 180. So my target is 155 for medium term, short term, for medium term 180 would be there with the SL of 125.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Kunal. Aditya, what's the sense on JK paper?
Paper stocks are doing good. West Coast paper, JK paper, both are looking extremely attractive on the charts. I would not shy away from taking a bet buy on JK paper as well at current levels of 138. I'm also looking at a target of 155. One can put a stop at somewhere around 125, which is in sync with Kkunal, and the stock should do well for itself. Volumes have been pretty healthy in the breakout. That should support the up move.
Okay, that's the view. I think most of the paper stocks are ahead of the deadline of single-use plastic coming in. A lot of these paper stocks have started to move up significantly. So that's round 2. Let's move on to round 3. The next chart is on Jubilant Foodworks, and that's what Aditya is recommending. If you can have the chart and see what it is. Why are you bullish?
So again, this is one of those stocks which went into a large consolidation from 2018 till late 2019, and recently it's broken out from this consolidation. And look at the magnitude of the white candles that we see post consolidation. They're the huge white candles. So that tells us the bulls are back in the stock. Jubilant FoodWorks is there to make new highs, and this also happened to be the fourth wave consolidation. So if I go back to its history, somewhere out here, 2016, this was the wave 1, wave 2 followed by a narrow correction, and this was a huge wave 3 wave up move, and this was a fourth wave consolidation. So stock has a tendency to go into a long consolidation following such a huge up move that the stock showed. So this was a typical wave 4 consolidation, and from that consolidation stock has broken out again on extremely healthy volumes. So following this breakout, one can actually look to buy at current levels or on declines to levels of again 1450, 1400. Those are good levels to accumulate the stock. I'm looking at a northward target of 1600 and 1700 in the coming months. Probably a month or two should see 1700 for the stock, and one can put a stop at 1380, which is a decent one. Along with that, if I take a look at the RSI, what the RSI has done recently, it has formed a positive reversal. What is a positive reversal is price makes a higher low. On the chart, we had seen price making a higher low. On the RSI, we see RSI making a lower low. So that also tells you that the stock went oversold at a higher level. The previous, so this low was somewhere around below 1200. This low was around 1200, while RSI made a lower low, prices made a higher low. So this also gives a price target, and this if I deduct the low, the two lows and add into the highs, I get a price target which corroborates with 1600, my earlier target. So I believe stock is headed to 1600 and 1700 in the coming.
Okay, 1600 and 1700. Thanks so much for that, Aditya. Kunal, are you bullish on Jubilant FoodWorks?
Yes, Darshan, I'm bullish on Jubilant FoodWorks, and Darshan, I remember that on 28 August, I gave the same call when Jubilant FoodWorks was trading 1220 for the target of 1360, and after that it went up to the level of 1529, and today, means this week stock has started its fresh move above its triangle formation. So at this level, definitely I'll wait and watch. If stock sustain above 1420, 1430, then definitely the spurt movement would be there. So for the time being, I'll wait. Let's a couple of closing above this trend line, and after I'll go for a buy.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. And lastly, we have Kkunal and his chart on Adani Power. Let's pull up the chart. If you can have Kkunal, why are you bullish on this? It's a trend line breakout, but explain the chart.
Yes, Darshan, it's a trend line breakout, and it's a monthly chart. So and horizontal trend line is there. It's a monthly chart, so it has strong strong trend. If stock sustain above this monthly horizontal trend line, means above 70, then I am seeing a good upside movement. And overall, if it sustain above 70, then it's like stock is getting to change its overall trend, and after that afterwards we might see a good upside movement. And if we talk about Darshan, RSI, then RSI as well indicating a buying opportunity, because Darshan, over here we can see this is the first top, second top, third top, fourth top. So if we connect these four top, it become a good trend line, and right now RSI is trading above this trend line. Okay, so even it indicates that the positive strength is there on a monthly chart. So overall, this structure on candlesticks formation plus on RSI indicates a good upside movement over a period of time in the counter.
Okay, so would you buy now, or would you buy only above 70?
Darshan, I'll buy above 70 because this trend line has a significance, and if it sustain above 70, then I am seeing a good upside movement, because OBV since last few months, even OBV increasing, so it indicates that the accentuated buying activity has been taking place since last many months. So I'll buy above 70, because after 70 it will get confirmed that the stock has changes over a long term.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in almost at 70 levels. Thanks so much for that, Kkunal. Aditya, what's your sense on Adani Power? Would you be a buyer?
I would again buy above 70. Out of nowhere, stock has moved from 13 levels to about 69, which is a significant up move in the power stock, Adani Power, out of the blue. So I would wait for 70 levels to cross on the upside. If that happens, then probably yes, I'll take a punt on Adani Power for targets of 95. But for the time being, I'll stay away till the stock crosses 70 levels.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the last counter. Just a couple of follow-up questions on some of the indices which have also managed to move. You think that, what are you telling your clients, Aditya, about the index? is it time to accumulate? Because it's confusing since in the 2-day we had a massive rally, then we've seen correction. What are you telling us?
So it's more of a consolidation correction, Darshan. To be honest, I believe 11,450 to about 11,400 should hold on the downside as far as Nifty is concerned. Spot levels. From there, I believe stock should head higher and test levels of 11,900, 12,000 eventually in the coming weeks or probably a month. For that matter, the risk to reward is definitely in favor of going long. And look at the volume pattern that we see, whether it's seen on Friday and Monday follow-up buying action. Those were extremely high volumes. You don't generally see those sort of volumes. So a breakout from a consolidation on such a huge volume definitely favors the bulls. And this is more of a consolidation correction that we're seeing for a couple of trading sessions. Follow-up probably, I believe, once the expiry is over, the fresh expiry should see Nifty at much higher levels of 11,900.
Okay, Kunal, I'll get your view also, but we have one management joining us. SEBI has prohibited Morpin Labs from accessing the capital markets. The company has been restrained in dealing in securities, including mutual funds, for a period of 1 year. To understand why and the implication of the order, let's welcome in Mr. Sushil Suri, Chairman and Managing Director at Morpin Labs. He joins us on the phone line. Thank you from Delhi. Thank you, Mr. Suri, for joining us. If you can give us a sense of why this order has come in and what is this case regarding?
Yeah, this is an old case, some 2003 case. We had a GDR back in 2003 March, some 15, 16 years old case. There was some inquiry since last 3-4 years. There was certain information required, which we have fully complied. But according to SEBI, there are certain disclosure requirements which are inadequate. Maybe as per present laws, these are inadequate, but according to the laws available at that time, we were fully compliant and the GDR was completed. But now they have certainly raised certain points. So we will certainly be approaching the appellate authority for that. But on the other hand, the clarification which we have to give to the market and to our stakeholders is that there is no change and day-to-day working of the company is normal. Stock will be listed, it will remain listed. The only point is that we cannot approach for fresh stocks or raising of fresh capital in the market for 1 year. That anyways was not on the cards. Last week we had initiated of raising promoters' stake and board has approved in a meeting last Thursday. That was anyways by way of warrants which are to be converted into shares after 18 months. So within 1 year no conversion is happening, but still we will seek guidance and clarification from SEBI that would it impact the issue of warrants or raising of equity to the promoters, since we are not going public anyways.
Mr. Suri, what's the next step now? Which is the next authority that you can approach to get this deal sorted?
Usually after SEBI, there is a SAT, which is the appellate tribunal for SEBI. So, but that again is a time-consuming process. It takes 2-3 months for the first listing, but the total ban is for 1 year. So I don't think it will be worth waiting and doing for much litigation. But for sake of clarification on the existing issue of warrants, for which notices were already dispatched yesterday, so we'll certainly seek some guidance on them because we have to be compliant all time.
So you're saying that you will not contest this and you will not raise any funds for the next 1 year?
We are not raising, but in case the existing things are stopped, certainly we'll have to pursue the appellate authority faster. But in case our application is considered and they give a clarification, the existing things will continue. So then certainly we can wait for 1 year because we don't have anything on the cards as such. And company is cash rich and we are already debt free and we do not have any immediate issues pending.
Just one final clarification, Mr. Suri. The order also said that you cannot access mutual fund. Does that mean that the cash on your books can't be used for investments in mutual fund? I just wanted to get that clarity.
Yeah, that's right. But we usually typically place money in the fixed deposits in the bank. So basically any market-related instruments, any speculation, any market-related instruments, which is directly, indirectly, but usually this is more so for individuals, but for companies I don't think it affects much because we use more cash for business. So we place deposits in the FDs and open LCs against that. So, but that's a normal practice.
Yeah, and I don't think this affects business in any way. Business goes on as usual, right?
Business, and this is just a very, I would say, a soft punishment. But the good point here is that this issue was hanging for last 15, 16 years. And of course, last 5-7 years, there was too many communications and dates and everything. At least this is, one problem less in life.
Okay, Mr. Suri, thank you so much for the clarification. We leave it at that. Thank you so much.
So,
Okay, Kunal, same question on your front, not on Morpin, but yeah, on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty.
Actually, Darshan, right now, if you talk about Nifty, then no, I'm seeing a downside movement up to the level of 400, 13 and 400, and exactly where the strong support comes at, because expiry is there and max span at this level comes at 11,400, to it indicates a good support. And if you talk about HDFC Bank, ICICI, SBI, there are the major 4 banks, due to which right now Nifty is trading with 100 points of loss. So even these 4 banks start showing good support. So I'm seeing if it comes up to the level of 11,400, I'm seeing a bounce back. So it would become a good opportunity for a long side position. From the present level, 80 points of downside movement I'm seeing for the time being.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the market, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. But with that, we're completely timed out on today's edition. Let me thank my guests who've come in today. Aditya and Kkunal, thank you so much for coming in today. Ask BQ comes up next. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.